What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another review for Monday Night Raw. This one is from April 22nd, 1996. We start off this show like we ended last week's, the Intercontinental Championship match between Goldust and Savio Vega. This time the belt is vacant, so there will be a new champion crowned, technically, even if Goldust wins. They run down a whole bunch of stuff while Goldust makes his entrance, and Savio Vega cuts a short promo in Spanish before he comes out. You know that he's really fired up if he's speaking Spanish. Savio and Goldust fight in the entranceway, and when they come back in, Goldust takes control with his sliding punch. He also gives him another kiss in the corner. Listen, I'm not saying anything about Savio Vega, but these matches are scripted, and both guys have to agree to the spots that are going to happen. This is the second time that he's gotten kissed by another man in a match. Again, I'm not saying nothing about Savio Vega, but it seems to me that he likes working with Goldust a lot. We also get some words from Warrior during this match. He still just wants to kick Goldust's ass for coming onto him. Not sure if Goldust wins here, if their match is going to be for the title at the pay per view. I think they still are really lacking when it comes to making that stuff clear when it's not said directly in the pay per view reports that they do. And I mean, like, explaining the situations that are happening at the pay per view or title matches, or if they're not for title matches. Because sometimes they'll put up matches and the referee will all of a sudden just raise the belt up, and neither like commentary won't say anything, the announcer won't say anything, the referee just puts the belt up. At the end of the day, most of the times it doesn't matter because the champion always wins, but still, they're like really weird when it comes to that. They don't really explain it directly. Now they beat it over your head like 20 times in 1 minute, whether the belt is on the line or not. Steve Austin and DiBiase make their way out to ringside. Savio gets some hope spots, but Goldust continues to stop him. But when he goes for the curtain call, Savio flips over and nails a spinning kick for a near fall. Marlena makes her way up to the ring, and Savio gets nailed in the head with his $1 million title behind the referee's back. That allows Goldust to win and becomes Intercontinental Champion once again. So Goldust heads to In Your House as champion, and Savio continues his feud with Austin. Which, on one hand, you might be asking why Steve would do that, since he's feuding with him. Wouldn't he want Savio to be champion so that he could potentially get a shot at the Intercontinental title? But on the other hand, if they want to make the $1 million title mean something, Austin would have to care about that title way more than any other ones. Even though that's not really the case in the whole scheme of things, when Austin is holding that $1 million championship, he has to pretend like he cares the world about it. So I didn't really think that it was stupid for Austin to cost Savio the match there, if you look at it that way. And to be honest, you probably didn't care about that either, but I thought I'd just point that out. Next up, we have Vader versus Fatu. Sometime into the match, because they come back from commercial and the match has already started, Fatu hits a terrible looking cutter and follows it up with a splash, but Vader no sells and gets right back up. He hits a clothesline and hits the moonsault from the top for the win. He continues his dominance over the WWF as he will take on Razor Ramon at In Your House. We're going to see if it lives up to any expectations on the pay per view. And it looks like Razor is not going to be making any appearances before then. They show us some footage from a tour in Germany. Apparently, Bret Hart was competing there but didn't want to show up to Raw after WrestleMania. They also showed that British Bulldog attacked Jake Roberts during a match where he was facing Owen Hart, but Jake got the upper hand and even pulled out his snake and placed it on the Bulldog. Those two are going to be in a match at In Your House as well. Next, we have the Godwins versus some jobbers. One of the jobbers was actually Tajiri, so he will be out of the running for the Dominance Award later when he makes his real debut. Sunny made her way out to ringside to taunt the Godwins with the tag titles, but Hillbilly Jim chased her away with his dog. Anyways, Henry picks up the win after hitting the slop drop. The tag champions, Body Donnas, come out to attack the Godwins from behind. They grab Slop from the bucket and start shoving it into Phineas's mouth. Henry comes back in, but the damage was already done. Can't really be mad at them getting a taste of their own medicine. It would be like someone licking the bushwhackers as payback. Can't really feel bad for the bushwhackers after they've been doing it to innocent people and even animals, if you remember. I think they did it to like a cat or a rabbit or something back in the day. But after this, we have Mankind making his return to Raw after attacking The Undertaker on the Raw after WrestleMania. He's taking on Aldo Montoya here tonight. Long story short, Mankind beats Aldo after using the mandible claw. It's been just incredible the way that they've debuted Mankind. He came in and took out the top dog, so to speak, of the WWF. I don't think they'll have an upcoming match at this upcoming pay per view, but Mankind's first feud being The Undertaker, that has to be a big deal for Mankind, the person, that they trust him to come in to feud with Undertaker as his first storyline. Speaking of top dog in the WWF, they show us a video package of the friendship turned rivalry between Diesel and Shawn Michaels. They show the rise that both of these guys had to become WWF champion, and where we are now after Diesel's attacks to Shawn in recent weeks and months. Diesel also cuts a promo. Take a listen.
Final chapter of your career. I'm not worried about that belt. I don't want that belt. That belt was on me for over a year. You know what? It was the worst year of my life. You know why? Because Vince McMahon and the rest of the corporate puppets tried to make Big Daddy Cool something he wasn't. Now that I'm what I am, how ironic. I don't win any Slammies. I don't get any accolades. No, I'm the bad guy. But you know what? Shawn Michaels, the people know who the real leader of the new generation is. It's Big Daddy Cool. Has been. You know why? You're a dime a dozen there, sport. Me? Hey, they don't grow on trees like me, buddy. I'm a genetic wonder. There's only one Big Daddy Cool, and you're looking at him. And in your house, anything can happen. You know what, McMahon? Sitting at ringside, when I get done with Michaels, you need to watch yourself. I got a little score to settle with you. Anything can happen.
This was one of the best promos that he's cut since being in the WWF. It was a little bit more realistic, so maybe that's why it seems that way, but still. Real Diesel, who has direction, is better than most on the mic. And notice that I said when he has direction. If he's just out there off script, he's funny and all, but you can't take him seriously because he's always just trying to be a goofball. Anyways, since we're only watching WWF for now, and hey, that might be us one day reviewing WCW, but for right now, we have the good version of Kevin Nash. So that does it for the show. I wanted to give this episode a bad grade, mostly because of the lack of star power on the show. And besides the first match, we just had squash matches. Saying that now, actually, I will switch my mind again. I was going to give it a good grade because I felt bad for thinking about giving it a bad grade, but remembering what was actually on the show, I'm actually going to give it a bad grade. Final answer. That's not really a good sign on the go home show before a pay per view, but maybe it's going to be one of those pay per views that are good out of nowhere. I've never watched this match between Shawn versus Diesel, so hopefully that match is good. If that happens, I don't care about the rest of the show. Just give me one good match. So leave in the comments on what you thought of In Your House, Good Friends, Better Enemies, and on the next episode, we can discuss. Don't worry about spoilers in the comments. Leave anything that you want because if you haven't watched it, you've had about 20 years to do so. So that's your fault if you get spoiled. So with all that being said, remember to subscribe or Mankind is going to stick his fingers down your throat. Even though I know some of you will probably like that. But anyways, I'm out. Catch you guys on the next one.